Welcome to rSlash Choosing Beggars, where we get to enjoy the Christmas spirit of giving. Hello, does anyone want to make an extra $200 a month? I need someone to pick up my daughter from blank at 2:45 p.m. every day. The school bell rings at 3 p.m. Then you'll have to stay with her for an hour and a half at our place in blank until I get home. Please message me if interested.
So that turns out to be $5.75 an hour plus gas?
If you're not interested, then don't comment.
And beneath that, we have this story from Just Brutally Me. I've been there. I've been babysitting for 9 years and I have tons of references. I had one lady offer me the equivalent of $3.68 per hour to drive 30 minutes to get there, watch 3 kids for 10 hours, do light housework, do all of her household chores with my own cleaning supplies, and then drive 30 minutes home. She got mad and called me a selfish little brat when I told her that I absolutely couldn't accept anything less than $10 an hour given the commute, number of kids, and other responsibilities that she wanted from me because I'd be losing money due to the commute and having to buy my own cleaning supplies. She messaged me a couple of other times since, begging me to come babysit because she can't find a babysitter who will do all of her chores and watch 3 kids for her awful pay. I very politely tell her every time that I would be happy to babysit for her and help around the house as long as she provides the supplies and pays the appropriate rate. She gets mad every time. And then we have another story from Kitharane. My current manager wants to hire a live-in babysitter to pick up and drop off her daughter. They would live in the garage, which she has yet to convert, and it's Australia, so it would be stupid hot in the summer. She expressed horror when I said that she would be expected to pay about $300 a week and provide food. She just couldn't understand that. Needless to say, she still hasn't gotten anyone. No one seems to be happy to sign up to servitude. This next post comes from Facebook, where someone is organizing some kind of local giveaway where people who are better off can buy gifts for people who are struggling. The organizer writes, "This post is for everyone that has asked for help for this big Christmas drive. Whether you've been matched yet or not, please pay attention to this. The donors are regular, everyday people. They aren't corporate sponsors, big business owners, etc. When it comes to your list, I've asked you to please keep your requests to under $25. I did that for a reason. These people are being very generous with their time and money, but they don't have a lot themselves. Please keep that in mind, and if the sponsoring families contact you asking for more information, please keep the criteria in mind. Also, be grateful for what you get, because if you give them a whole list, then they'll do what they can, but if you don't get everything on the list, please be understanding and grateful for what you do get. I've had sponsoring families come to me saying that families that have asked for help are asking for things way beyond the criteria that I posted. Make sure the things that you're asking for are true needs and that they're small and reasonable. Thank you." Down in the comments, we have this story from Little Miss Dream. "I looked into adopting through USPS last year, and I was excited to share a big Christmas for some kids. I was gonna go all out because I had a great year. I did end up donating elsewhere later. I specifically searched for Transformers, and I was gonna make a few kids' Christmases by loading them up with my old favorite childhood toy. Every list that mentioned Transformers were clearly written by adults who knew the exact figures to pick, which were insanely expensive, rare, hard to find, and collectible. Like the ones that you don't open from the box. It was disheartening." Also, we have this story from Reluctant Sub. "My office adopted a family at Christmas, and their requests were totally crazy. Multiple PlayStations, shotguns, a microwave, designer clothing. I was shocked. At the time, I was a divorced mom, and there was no way that I could afford this. But when I voiced my concerns, the big bosses suggested that I was being selfish, and I was shamed big time. Do they really not know how much their employees are making or realize that this is not a realistic expectation?" Then we have another story from Legal Bagel. "When I was a kid, my Girl Scout troop sponsored a homeless family, and we got a local radio station to donate like $2,500 or $5,000, I can't remember. But it was enough to get an apartment, furniture, clothing, and they were also going to connect the adults with job training and placement. The homeless family was upset that they didn't just get the money. They didn't like any of the apartments, and they didn't want to participate in the job program. They also didn't like the clothing options. I think we ended up giving the bulk of the money back to the station or to the local shelter because we had it for like 2 months to help this family. Then we have yet another story from that goth gamer chick. I did one of those angel trees where a family puts a Christmas list on a Christmas tree and you choose a list to buy for and give that family those gifts. A couple of coworkers and I pulled our money together to do one, and we chose a letter from a mom that had 2 kids. The list seemed normal for the most part. Clothes, Hot Wheels, car stuff, Legos. They asked for a PlayStation 4, which we thought was odd because both kids listed on the tag were under the age of 4. But whatever, we couldn't afford that anyway. They also asked for headphones for her 3-year-old to use when they play on their iPad. I found a nice pair of kid-friendly headphones for $20 that had nice reviews for holding up to the roughness of a toddler, as well as being overall good sound quality. When we delivered the gifts face-to-face, the mom was instantly disappointed that the headphones were cheap, and she actually asked us why we didn't get Beats by Dre headphones. She literally said, "I want the best for my kids, not cheap BS. Why would I put cheap garbage on the list? It's Christmas. You should be buying the best." We were so dumbstruck. First off, I can't even afford to buy those for myself, let alone a 3-year-old. And secondly, why the F would you give a toddler such expensive headphones when they literally break everything? I never saw someone be so ungrateful for someone buying presents for their kids before. Honestly, it turned me off to charity for a few years until I realized that I shouldn't let one greedy lady ruin helping others have a nice Christmas. Now, more coworkers have joined in, and we were able to cover gifts for a couple of families this year. Don't let choosing beggars ruin it for others. So, a bit off topic, but while we're on the topic of Christmas gifts, a couple of episodes ago, I said I was super excited because I asked my wife to get me a drone for Christmas because drone flying looks super fun, and I think it'd be a really cool hobby for me to get into. So, my wife got me the drone, but I live kind of close to DC, and I didn't know this until after I got the gift, but apparently DC is this massive no-fly zone for drones. Literally, if I want to fly the drone one time, I have to file some sort of application with the TSA and then get a police escort just to fly the drone that one time. I literally can't even make the drone fly inside the confines of my own house because the software on the drone realizes that it's close to DC and it literally won't even turn on. So that kind of sucks. It doesn't kind of suck, it mega sucks because I was really excited. But, there's still hope because my wife and I are thinking about moving next year. So if we move out of DC, then perhaps there's hope that I can fly this cool drone around. Anyways, I just wanted to share that because that sucks. That's so unlucky. I feel so stupid for not looking this up beforehand, but it never crossed my mind that I would be in a giant no-fly zone. It just never occurred to me. So that just sucks, man. I feel like an idiot. News article. 41-year-old lawyer who sued his parents to pay him $500 a week loses appeal. What? An unemployed lawyer who has had his lavish lifestyle entirely funded by his wealthy parents for years has lost a court bid to force his mother and father to continue to pay him maintenance. Faiz Siddiqui, who's 41, claimed his parents are violating his human rights after they stopped paying for his life in London after he went years without a job. Siddiqui, who graduated from Oxford University, last worked in 2011, having previously practiced law at prestigious firms Burgess Salmon and Field Fisher Waterhouse and worked as a major tax and blah blah blah. While unemployed, he claimed that he's become entirely dependent on handouts from his parents, who are 69 and 71 and live in Dubai. These payments amount to about £1,500 a month, while the 41-year-old lives rent-free in a £1 million apartment in central London. So apparently, this guy also tried to sue Oxford University for £1 million in 2018 over his failure to get first-class honors. He claimed that what he taught was inadequate, and he lost that case too. How can someone who's just so perfectly set up to succeed in life be such a failure? Graduated from Oxford, has wealthy parents? Clearly the guy is smart, because how else would you get a law degree from Oxford? Is it just because he's mega, like ultra lazy, just can't be bothered to do anything because he just doesn't care? It's gotta be, right? Or like a drug problem or something? This is weird. How does he honestly expect that a jury is gonna force wealthy parents to pay a 41-year-old a salary for just existing? Like, what's the claim? Child support, I guess? Man, this guy must like straight up be the laziest human being to have ever existed. Also, it's really weird because if his parents are wealthy enough that they can afford to give him a £1 million apartment in New York, then clearly his parents are super wealthy. Also, his parents are pretty old, so they could kick off any day now. So why would you go out of your way to piss off your parents by suing them, which in my mind would pretty much guarantee that you will never get any of that inheritance money, right? This just doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm looking for a logo and banner.
All right, the total for that will be $12. What do you want them to look like?
Something like yours, but more color, and on the side of the banner, I wanted to say blank for instant RTS.
What colors do you want?
Blue, purple, and pink.
All right, how does this look? It's watermarked because it hasn't been paid for yet.
It looks good.
All right, so the total is $12 and my PayPal is blank. Just let me know when you send it and I'll get you the HD pictures.
I want to see the HD picture first.
Why?
'Cause I don't know if I like it. Look, I'll give you a shout out for it.
I don't need a shout out.
I have many active viewers.
Can you pay for it or not?
I can't.
Okay, why'd you commission me?
I thought that you were doing it for free. You did ask prices. Could you let me use it?
I can't.
Why? You already made it.
Because I thought you could pay for it.
Let me use it and I'll pay you as soon as I get the money.
You're not getting it until you pay. I see these types of posts a lot where some young, aspiring content creator is trying to get someone to make them a logo or an intro or an outro or whatever. And I can say, like, as a professional YouTuber, it just doesn't matter. Man, it really does not matter in the slightest. No one cares about your banner. No one cares about your fancy intro. No one cares about any of that stuff. All they really care about is the video entertaining or is it not entertaining? So trying to scam hardworking artists out of money because you think,
oh, if only I had a banner for my YouTube channel, then I could finally hit 1 million subscribers.
It just doesn't work like that. So if you're thinking about being a professional content creator, just try to make good content, and then all that other stuff like banners and background music and intros, that stuff comes later. Just don't worry about it. Okay, so for this next post, there's this thing called Reddit Gift Exchange, where basically you sign up and you say what you want, and then some random person on the internet gets you and they send you a gift, and then you get some other random person and you send them a gift. So it's basically like, kind of like White Elephant, but for the entire internet. Anyways, this one dude signed up to Reddit Gifts, and this was in his profile. Likes and dislikes. Any greeting card you send me must have money or a gift card because I will request a Visa gift card along with it. The gift card amount can be either $25, $50, or $100. If you can't buy a gift card, then the money is a replacement option, which I will request for a $50 bill. Thanks and happy holidays. Then this guy posts a picture of the holiday gift card that was sent to him, and it doesn't have any money in it, and he writes this. I like the holiday card, but I asked for money or a gift card with it. So, despite liking the gift, I didn't like how it failed to follow the requirement that I gave them. Okay, so this reminds me of something that I've been thinking about recently because it's near Christmas time, so it kind of dredged up this memory. So back when I was really, really young enough that I would still be at the age where I would go on Easter egg hunts. So God, I must have been probably 8 or something. Really, really young. My mom asked me what I wanted for Easter, and I said a video game. I wanted a video game for the N64. And Easter rolled around, and my mom got me a bunch of stuff, like toys and candy. She kind of always goes over the top on holidays, to be honest. But I didn't get the video game that I asked for. And I was like a spoiled, petulant little 8-year-old, and I was upset because I was really looking forward to the video game. So I kind of trashed my mom a little bit afterwards. I was like, Mom, I asked for the video game. Why didn't you get me the video game? And she gave me this lecture about how I was being spoiled and entitled, and how she did give me a bunch of gifts, and I should be grateful for what she did get me and not be upset about the things that she didn't get me. And even at the age of 8 years old, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I understand now the point of giving gifts and receiving gifts. And that stuck with me, and I've remembered that. And when Christmas rolled around, that memory kind of dredged up, and I look back and cringe at how entitled I was on that one Easter. Anyways, I'm sharing this story because I want to illustrate that even an 8-year-old child can understand the importance of not being an entitled douchebag. But this guy, despite getting a kind gift from a stranger, is well, actually, I wanted a gift card or money, and this doesn't have money, so go F yourself. It's dude, you're a grown man. Get over yourself. And then, way down in the comments of this post, we have a completely off-topic story, which has nothing to do with the original post, but it's so funny that I have to read it anyways. This comes from Raul Hallahan. This reminds me of my father-in-law. He sent my husband a text saying that he was in the hospital with COVID. He then read the text that he sent and assumed that my husband sent it. Then he spent hours calling everyone in the family, telling them my husband was dying from COVID. I got 20 phone calls in the span of 1 hour asking me if my husband was okay. All this confusion and distress. All this confusion and distress because my father-in-law read his own text message and thought that it was from his son. Dear son, I have COVID. Love, Dad. Oh my God, my son has COVID. That was r/choosingbeggars. And if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.